If you're moving to the Red Deer, Alberta area, I think you are making a massive mistake by not considering some of the smaller towns that surround it. So in this video, we're gonna break down 5 affordable communities that you might wanna consider moving to if you're thinking of moving to the Red Deer, Alberta area. All right, let's get right into it. Let's talk about the first community on the list. We're gonna take a look at Penhold, Alberta. Now, it is a smaller town. It only has about 3,800 people, which is why I think that some people might write it off a little bit compared to places like Black Falls and Sylvan Lake and Lacombe, for example. However, I think that because of Penhold's location, it kind of negates that smaller population of 3,800 people. So if we look on a map, Penhold is about 15 minutes just south of Red Deer. In my opinion, this is going to be the closest and the easiest commute out of all the ones that we talk about today. But it is located right next to Gasoline Alley in Red Deer County. Now, this is an area where there is a ton of great shopping. This is where you're gonna find places like Costco, like Staples, Princess Auto, tons of different kinds of businesses, restaurants. You can actually be to Costco and all those different kinds of places in under 10 minutes when you're coming from Penhold. Now, if we look at the south end of Red Deer, particularly the southwest corner of Red Deer, this is where you're going to find a lot of really good shopping. So in this area, we're gonna have Winners, HomeSense, PetSmart, Lazy Boy, Sport Chek, and just north of that area, you're gonna find Home Depot, Walmart, Lowe's, Bauer Mall, which is the most popular mall in the city. All of this is going to be a really, really easy commute from Penhold. So it's going to be a straight shot down Highway 2A. So if we look at the median price for detached homes in Penhold, right now we're sitting at $391,000, which is quite a bit below Red Deer at this point, which is sitting at $425,000. So real estate is going to be much more affordable, and Penhold is now becoming a legit town. So it wasn't long ago that it lacked a lot of different types of businesses. Now Penhold has you covered when it comes to all of your daily necessities, from grocery stores to doctor's offices, dental clinics. It's got a newer multiplex, which has a fitness center and ice rinks. Now, no matter what grade your kids are in, Penhold has you covered when it comes to schools. And because Penhold has been growing so fast over the last few years, a lot of these schools are at capacity or they are over capacity. Now, if we're talking about new developments, Penhold is set to get a brand new middle school, which is supposed to open by September of 2025. So that's gonna cover grades 4 to 8. It's gonna take a lot of pressure off of the existing schools. Now, some other really cool things that Penhold is doing, which I think is going to attract a lot more families to the area. It's investing $1.5 million into a network of walking trails and bike paths. So it's going to connect a lot of key areas in the community, from the multiplex to schools to different neighborhoods. And I think this is great. It's going to encourage a lot more outdoor activity, get everybody outside, make it a more family-friendly area. Now, we've talked about the Red Deer Airport expansion. So the airport is located literally less than 5 minutes just to the north of Penhold. So it's currently finishing phase 2 of a $30 million expansion. You're going to see increased cargo and passenger flights. You're going to be able to go to major Canadian hubs like Toronto and Vancouver. So this expansion is going to require a lot of people just to run it, and a lot of the land around the airport has been earmarked for business development. So this is going to create a ton of opportunity and employment in the area, and a lot of these people who are going to be working here are going to be looking to move to places like Penhold, so that drive to work is going to be a super short commute, which is why I think you're going to see this smaller town, literally just located outside the south end of Red Deer, continue to grow. So you're going to want to get in there before those real estate prices get too high.
So, this is the place.
You know, this is probably not gonna help my negotiating power, but I kind of can't believe how perfect this house is.
And I want to remind you guys, I am a licensed realtor in the area, so if you need help making the move, I'd love the chance to earn your business. Use this info popping up, get a hold of me any way you'd like, phone, text, email. Would love to hear from you guys. All right, let's get on to number 2. Let's talk about Lacombe, Alberta. Now, Lacombe is located about 25 minutes north of Red Deer, a straight shot on Highway 2. So really easy commute. A lot of people, for example, worked on the fire departments. A lot of people lived in Lacombe and made that commute to Red Deer for work. And another thing that's kind of cool about Lacombe's location is that you're kind of close to Edmonton as well. So you can be to the south end of Edmonton, which has a lot of really good shopping like IKEA, in about an hour. So relatively close to Edmonton and still easy commute to Red Deer. Now Lacombe has a population of about 15,000, maybe a tiny bit under. It actually has a city status. So I think Lacombe applied for a city status as soon as it was able to. Here in Alberta, it's 10,000 people. Now, if we look at the price of real estate, in Lacombe, the median price for a detached home in 2023 was $349,000. So far in 2024, we're looking at a price of $406,000. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I am a huge fan of Lacombe. It has a ton of culture and a ton of character. I'm really a big fan of places that have like lots of walking trails and bodies of water. So if we look at Lacombe, I'll throw you some drone shots right now. There is a ton of interconnected walking trails that go through the entire city, and these go around these bodies of water. So it makes it a really beautiful city. Lots of mature trees and old growth trees. I am a huge fan of Lacombe. Now, if we talk about character, all you have to do is head to Lacombe's downtown. This is an historic downtown. They have these old Edwardian buildings from the early 1900s. There's actually a flat iron building down there, which is the oldest one in Alberta and one of the oldest in Canada. This downtown just gives off a super cool vibe. It kind of feels like you're stuck back in a time warp. I love the feeling when I'm down there. And it's also known as the mural capital of Alberta. So all through downtown, there's over 40 murals, and it just lays out the town's entire history. Now, there is also a university in Lacombe, which not a lot of people know about. It's called Dillman University. It attracts people from all around the country and all around the world, so it does inject a little bit of diversity and youthfulness into Lacombe. And when it comes to amenities, Lacombe has you covered when it comes to education for your kids, and it also has its own hospital, which is good. Sometimes a lot of these smaller towns, they may or may not have a hospital, and in my opinion, Lacombe has the best home hardware in Central Alberta, so make sure you check it out when you're there. Now, another really cool thing about Lacombe is if you head just straight west on Highway 12, you get to the Lacombe Corn Maze, which is a phenomenal place for the kids. I even love going there myself. Obviously, you can go through the corn maze. There's gigantic pillow trampolines. You can go pet animals. There's tons of different events and games that you can do. So this is a really cool spot in Central Alberta and a big tourist attraction.
Let's go to the park! Yes, yes, yes!
So I am a huge fan of Lacombe. I love this place. It has so much character. And every time I introduce somebody to it, they're like, wow, thank you so much. I had no idea. So Lacombe, if you're moving to this area of Alberta, this is definitely somewhere you want to consider as well. All right, let's move on to number 3. Let's talk about the town of Blackfalds. This is the fastest growing community in this area, and it wasn't long ago that Blackfalds was one of the fastest growing communities in all of Canada. Now, this will be your second closest after Penhold. I think that Penhold is a little bit easier of a commute just because it's a straight shot down Highway 2A, and then you have Gasoline Alley and all that stuff on the south end of Red Deer. When we look at Red Deer and Blackfalds, it's about 13 kilometers from the northern border of Red Deer to get to the city of Blackfalds. Now, it has about 12,000 people, and this population has doubled from 2007 to 2023. Now, if we look at the price of real estate in Blackfalds, the price to buy a detached home, in 2023, it was $370,000. So far in 2024, we're all the way up to $423,000. So you're seeing a lot of appreciation in this area.
Wow, they grow up so fast.
This could be an excellent investment.
Now, when you think of Blackfalds and what it's really well known for, it is ideal if you have a young family. The population there, it is such a young demographic. I think it's over 61% of the population is under 41, and a good portion of that is kids under 5 years old. And what it's also really well known for is its world-class recreational amenities. So we have the Abbey Center there. This is a fantastic, phenomenal rec center. It's got indoor pools. The outdoor pool is fantastic. It has water slides. You have a running track and a fitness gym with field houses and a daycare to take care of the kids. And right out in front of the Abbey Center, you have a bike skills park. So there's tons of fun stuff you can do on that bike park or the skills park. To me, I'm a little bit too old for that. That just looks like an injury waiting to happen. Now, it wasn't long ago that Blackfalds built the Eagle Builder Center, and this is where you're gonna find a brand new public library. It's 2 different stories, and this is the home of the Blackfalds Bulldogs. So if you like hockey, there is an AJHL hockey team right in the town.
I want to watch you watch a hockey game.
Now, sometimes the knock on Blackfalds, even though it has amazing recreational facilities and amenities, sometimes the complaint is that it's lacking in businesses. Now, you're really starting to see that change with this population growth. So on the south end of town, there is a ton of businesses popping up. And at the last town meeting, it showed that residential growth had actually slowed a little bit, and you're seeing that business growth start to pick up. Now, a really important development that just opened this year in the fall is Blackfalds' brand new public high school. So previous to this, kids would have to be bused into Lacombe or bused to Red Deer. So this is huge for Blackfalds. It's bringing the kids back to the community, and Blackfalds now has its own high school. Now, I want to let you guys in on a little secret. I think Blackfalds is really going to start to boom. So if we look at the area in between Blackfalds and Red Deer. So if we're looking at Red Deer, it'd be north of Highway 11A. There is a huge project that's going to take place over the next however many years. It's called the Red Deer North 11A project. So all of this land has been annexed by the city, and eventually it's all going to be developed. Right now, the first development that's going to take place is kind of in that southern west corner, just east of the highway, Highway 2. It's the Haslat Lake development. This looks to be like a really fun community. It's going to have a huge emphasis on outdoor recreation with tons of walking trails that connect to the rest of the city. It's over 350 acres. So this is super exciting. And I think that as you see this start to develop over the years, Blackfalds is going to get that much more popular. So keep your eye on Blackfalds. If you have a young family, Blackfalds is a phenomenal place to live. All right, you cannot talk about towns near Red Deer, Alberta without talking about the most popular lake town in Alberta, Sylvan Lake. So let's take a look at it. If we look on a map, Sylvan Lake is located about 15 to 20 minutes straight west of Red Deer. So a really easy commute. Highway 11 is actually all a double lane highway. So it's a really stress-free commute, even in the wintertime. Now, it has a population of right around 17,000. If we look at the price of real estate, the price for a detached home in 2023 was $400,000. In 2024, right now as it stands, we're at $445,000, which actually is a little bit above Red Deer. Now, this is a massive tourist destination in the province of Alberta. Alberta isn't overly well known for having a lot of fantastic lakes like you would find out in Ontario, British Columbia, but this really is a hidden gem. This is a phenomenal lake. So you can do all of the different water sports. It's got nice sandy bottom. It's not rocky and full of seaweed. And they say roughly 1 million people will visit the town of Sylvan throughout the summer months. Now, when it comes to amenities, I think Sylvan Lake does really well in this department. You're actually gonna find places like Walmart, Canadian Tire, Mark's Work Warehouse. And up on the lakeshore, you have tons of different restaurants and bars and coffee shops. In my opinion, I think Sylvan Lake does have some of the best nightlife in this area. Now, Sylvan is really well known for always kind of having some type of festival or some type of event. There's always something to do. I think it gives it a really strong community feel. And even when there's nothing going on, you know, everyone is hanging out down at the lake. So you're really getting to know your neighbor in Sylvan Lake. Now, it's not just summer tourism, it's year-round tourism. So things stay really busy in the wintertime. So once that ice freezes over, it becomes a little village of fishing shacks.
We're there.
And Winterfest is a huge thing in the wintertime as well. So I believe it's on Family Day weekend. They have a ton of events going on. Just to name a few, they'll have the ice fishing derby, they'll have the iconic polar bear dip, they'll have dog sled races. So tons of stuff still going on in the winter. And they also, from December until March, they have the entire pier decorated in Christmas lights as well as the trees. It's called the Winter Village. So really cool place to go for a walk or go on that little romantic date. They actually have piles of wood and fire pits up on the pier so anyone can come down and make a fire. This is also a really popular spot for short-term rentals and Airbnbs. So again, if you're really looking for that ultimate lake town experience, we don't have too many in Alberta. Sylvan Lake is going to be fantastic for that. All right, let's head down south of Red Deer on Highway 2. about 25 minutes and take a look at Innisfail, Alberta. Now, for some reason, I seem to not get as many questions or reach outs when it comes to Innisfail. I'm not sure if it's just kind of overshadowed by the bigger players like Lacombe and Black Falls and Sylvan Lake, but this is definitely a good option in this central Alberta area.
You're not interested in the place, are you?
I don't know about this place.
It's a smaller town just south of Red Deer, straight shot on Highway 2, about 25 minutes. It's got a population of about 8,000 people. Now, out of all the towns that we talk about today, Innisfail is going to be the most affordable when it comes to real estate. So again, if we're looking at median detached prices, in 2023, the prices were $330,000 for a detached home. In 2024, we're up to $350,000. So this is super, super affordable. And when it comes to amenities, it has everything that you're going to need. Again, it has all the grades and education that your kids are going to need, and it does have its own hospital. So because of the quiet, quaint, laid-back feel to it, the prices of real estate, this also is a popular area for people looking to retire. Now, Innisfail, in my opinion, is great for outdoor activities for a small town. It's got two bodies of water. One is called Napoleon Lake and one is called Dodds Lake. People use it to go kayaking, and there's tons of beautiful walking trails that surround it, which makes for a really nice walk. And there's a cool little thing about Innisfail is Discovery Wildlife Park. Now, this is a zoo just located west of Highway 2 as you're coming into Innisfail. I didn't even know it was there until I had kids. This place is phenomenal. It's got bears, it's got tigers, wolves, lions. They do educational shows.
Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my.
So if you're in the area, make sure you check out Discovery Wildlife Park. Now, just south of Innisfail is the Bowden Penitentiary. So this is a big employer in the central Alberta area. This is a pretty big prison, so lots of people who are working there, they want to cut down on the commute time. They're choosing to call Innisfail home. Now, only real major con I can think about, and sometimes you could think about this as a pro as well, sometimes on that east side of town, you are getting super close to the highway. So I remember showing some homes where they almost literally backed onto Highway 2. Can be a little noisy on that side, but if you're looking at it from the other perspective, is that you have easy access to the highway if you're commuting to Red Deer or Calgary or wherever you're going. So again, it's not growing as fast as the other ones we talked about. It doesn't seem to get asked about as much, but maybe it's because you're not aware of it. I do have a video about Innisfail on my YouTube channel, so check it out. Innisfail is definitely an option that you should be considering as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I do think it's a huge mistake if you're coming to this area and you're not considering a lot of the smaller communities that surround Red Deer. So if you liked the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell so you're notified every week when a new video comes out. And of course, if you would like any help with your real estate needs, give me a shout. I'd love the chance to earn your business. Use this info popping up. All right, guys, I will see you next week. Cheers.